Hi, everyone. A good Wednesday morning. It's 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm here. We're going to try to make this update a fairly quick one. The good news is our thoughts have not changed all that dramatically since last evening in terms of impacts, in terms of timing and amounts. But we've still got plenty to analyze this morning, and we'll bring you up to date on what the latest thinking is overall. Here's a look at our storm this morning. This is already a wintry mess, I should say, from St. Louis to Peoria, Champaign, Chicago, Grand Rapids. Now, on the warm side of this, we still have liquid precipitation pushing into western and central Ohio, and that rain will push in here later on this afternoon. The cold side of this storm is being fed by a big, burly area of high pressure out here across the northern Rockies, northern plains. This is providing that punch of Arctic air that's pushing to the south and east. In fact, I'll bring up the temperatures real quickly here. You can see this is a much colder air mass that's pushing into the Midwest this morning. Air temperatures in the teens below zero near the U.S.-Canadian border. That is no fun at all. All right, we're going to pop up the watch, warning, and advisory map here, and I want to caution everyone, as I usually do, don't get too caught up in who's under what sort of product right now. Focus on the forecast and the impacts, but real quickly, winter storm warnings are out now for Trumbull County, Portage County, and points to the north and west. Mahoning, you're in a winter weather advisory. That's the purple color. Still a winter storm watch. Columbiana and the rest of western PA, that'll probably be upgraded later on today to, for some, a winter weather advisory, to some, a winter storm warning. But again, don't get too caught up in that. Focus on the impacts that we've been talking about, and the timing and the amounts and our general forecast, and don't get too caught up in the differences between those advisories and watches and warnings. First thing we'll see is rain pushing in as the afternoon wears on. It'll rain all evening, and again, the timing has not really changed as far as the transition over to something other than just plain rain. This is mostly around and after midnight. From northwest to southeast, we'll see temperatures slipping below freezing. So a lot of this will still be rain, but the problem is it'll be rain in about 30 degrees. That's freezing rain. And that transition from rain to freezing rain will occur from northwest to southeast during the pre-dawn hours on Thursday. As the cold air mass becomes a little bit deeper, we'll start to see less rain and freezing rain and more sleet and snow working in. Again, everything happens from kind of northwest to southeast late tonight and heading into our Thursday morning. As we get into the daylight hours on Thursday, as I've been saying, it's kind of a potpourri of precipitation. It's very location dependent. In our southern viewing area, down in southern Columbiana County, Lisbon, Salineville, Calcutta, Glenmore, East Liverpool, Rogers, West Point, places like that, this could still be a fair amount of freezing rain for a time. Especially morning and midday on Thursday. The farther north you head, you'll encounter more sleet and snow and kind of a mix of both. In our far northern areas, for a lot of Thursday, this might be just plain old snow with maybe just a little bit of sleet. So in places such as Bloomfield, Mesopotamia, Kinsman, Greenville, over towards Sandy Lake, you have the best chance of staying mostly snow with limited sleet and probably not too many issues at all with freezing rain that far to the north. And this is an all-day affair tomorrow. I'm going to play this forward, and what you see is what you get. Snow mixed with sleet at times. The freezing rain in our far southern areas should start to diminish as the afternoon and the evening wears on, and it becomes much more snow and sleet. And then everything continues into Thursday night. Now, by late Thursday night, after midnight, towards 2, 3, 4 in the morning, even in areas that had a fair amount of mixed precipitation all day, this should transition to mostly snow towards the tail end of the storm late Thursday night and into Friday morning. The snow then tapers off by about daybreak on Friday. All right, there's a lot of model information that's available to meteorologists and even to the general public these days. Everyone can get their hands on computer models, and the question becomes, what about this model? What about that model? And we like to take a blended approach when it comes to computer modeling. And here's a kind of a blended approach. So bring that up again. Let me just had a little technical snafu. There we go. This is what we call the national blend of models. And what we're looking at on this side is the current run. This is the old run. So we're going to compare the two most recent runs of the NBM, or National Blend of Models, or National Weather Service Blend of Models. And not much has changed over the last couple of runs with this. Highest amounts north, lowest amounts south, where you have more mixing and more sleet and freezing rain. So that lends some confidence to the overall forecast that that national blend of modeling has not really changed all that much over the last couple of runs. Here's our snow forecast that we put out last evening. Don't forget, on the Storm Tracker 21 app, you can get these details for your specific location that is programmed into the app. And I think for a lot of us in the central and eastern parts of our viewing area, this will be 3 to 6 inches of snow with a fair amount of sleet mixed in as well. Best chance for more than 6 inches will be around and north of Interstate 80, where you have less mixing. If someone sees a double-digit amount, it's most likely in the far northern reaches of Trumbull and maybe northwestern Mercer as well. But a pretty solid 6 to 9 inches, the most likely outcome for places such as Warren, Newton Falls, Cortland area, up towards Kinsman, Johnston, Greenville, maybe getting close to Sharon as well. Once you're south of Sharon and closer to Youngstown and the 224 corridor, again, a lot of sleet in this area. 3 to 6 is the most likely outcome, but there's definitely some wiggle room with these accumulations. You get more mixing and more prominent sleet instead of snow, and amounts could be cut in half in some parts of this area. And so that kind of 1 to 3 zone down towards East Liverpool may come farther to the north. So that remains to be seen. Your chances of having less than the forecasted amount, those chances exist. The opposite also holds true. If there's less sleet and more snow, you could come in at the top end of this range, closer to 6 in a lot of this kind of blue area in the heart of our viewing area. So that's the current forecast. Tweaks will be made throughout the day today as needed as we get more high-resolution model data. No matter what the amounts are, though, travel impacts will be high. So if you're planning on doing any traveling, if you've got to get to a doctor's appointment or anything else, late tonight and into Thursday, expect very high impacts on all of our roads, north to south. In the south, it'll be more problem maybe with freezing rain down towards East Liverpool and around the Route 30 corridor, around the Lisbon area, Hanoverton, places like that. But for a lot of the central and northern part of our viewing area, this will be snow and sleet. It's all impactful. And then the cold becomes highly impactful by Friday morning as we drop down into the teens. All the wet and slushy areas that will be out there, especially in areas that have more sleet than snow, it's just going to turn into a glacier, just a block of ice. And that'll make for more slick surfaces into Friday morning. I said this video would be brief. We're coming up on 8 minutes, so I'll wrap it up this morning. I'll have more updates, of course, on social media throughout the day. This evening on 21 News at 6 and 11 on the Storm Tracker 21 app, and on the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video. It's Weather for Weather Geeks. We'll have that video online this evening by about 7:30.